Hi, I'm Deepa, a leadership coach and a facilitator, and the course director of Poornatva, an energy-driven leadership journey. Poornatva, Purna, which is wholeness, and Tattva, which is the essence. So anyone who registers for the journey is going to experience a feeling of wholeness and fullness using a map of transformation. Now, what is that map? Those maps are nothing but all the modules that you will go through. Using the metaphor of an iceberg. Module 1. A group of 8 to 10 participants come together, and the first module is called the Trust and Intimacy Circle. Coming together from different walks of life, from different attitudes, intentions, with one single goal or aim to deepen my awareness, to deepen my consciousness, to walk on the path of inner work while I achieve success. That's the only goal. Intimacy and trust building happens in the first module. Not just that, by the end of the module, I will invite you to choose your own buddies after you have experienced the other participants for 2.5 hours. And trust me, it always happens that you receive the buddy that you need the most, or the one with whom you need to pair the most. Module 2. It's called My Core Selfie. Now, if I look at the iceberg, 10% is on the top and the entire 90% is below the iceberg. My core selfie is the deepest core or the aspect of the iceberg, where lies your purpose, your natural gifts and talents, your core values. Why we dive deepest? Because Poornatva focuses on focusing on the light first, and then the shadows, then the negatives. So you first meet your light, you meet your highest possibility, you go back to your source, and then journey upwards. Module 3. Envisioning my highest vision. Once you have trust among the team members and you have met yourself in your core, you are now ready to go above the iceberg and even see what's above. What is your success? What does success look like? What is your vision? That is what you will explore in this module through a process called visualization. And thereafter, using your intellect, you will break down the vision into goals, and then these goals into quarterly goals, and you will take up actions. This will ensure that your vision translates to goals, translates to actions, and translates to outcomes. Module 4. Module 4 is called Rhythms That Rock. Now, to make your vision happen, it is not going to happen just by itself or through a lot of efforts on the goal and the action. There is one more aspect needed, which is what we call rhythms and rituals. What rhythms are needed for me to achieve my goals in an effortless manner is what the session focuses on. I, as a facilitator, will urge you to reflect and take up your own rhythms that suit you. Rhythms that you already practice and you're already attuned to, but doing it on a rhythmic basis will give you the results and ensure that your goals are converted into results. That's what rhythms are for you. It's like the sun that is up every morning, the moon which has a waxing and waning cycle. Similarly, you will have your own rhythms and you will start to feel secure in yourself. Module number 5. Lessons from my biography. Now, there is a saying that all answers are from within. But I want to say that all answers are not just from within, but all answers are in your biography. In fact, questions are also in your life story or biography, answers are also there. But there is a way of looking at your biography and learning lessons from there. Asking the right questions, reflecting on your thoughts, emotions, and behavior patterns. Looking at your birth signature, looking at all the encounters that have uplifted you or drained you. That is what this module will focus on. There is a structured way to look at your life chart and your biography, and you will actually write year to year of your biography. Now you may say, what if I don't remember? Well, we'll see that. You will also have certain reflective questions for each septennial, which is the 7-year period of your life. So broadly, you will remember the significant events of your life. Now, we come to the 6th module, my emotional landscape. You have written your biography. You have seen all the patterns, your thought patterns, your emotions patterns. But to understand that and shift the emotion pattern, you need to know your emotional landscape, which is what we focus on in this module. Now there is a vocabulary of emotions. There are many introduce you to the language of various emotions. And the moment you get introduced to the emotions, you will be able to see your own biography and you can look at which emotion repeated itself over a period of time. And the emotion that repeated itself, it could be a love-based emotion or a fear-based emotion. If you identify the pattern, you can repeat the love-based emotion more and see what it yields for you or gives you. And if there is a fear-based emotion, you can really watch out for that, because maybe that leads you to a downward spiral. But this also means that everything below the iceberg, you can spot its presence in your biography, the life that you have lived. Not just that you will learn your emotions, but you will also be able to associate which emotion you feel in which part of the body. I know there are systems which says that this part of the body relates to this emotion, but the philosophy or the practice where I come from is that every emotion can be in a different part for different people. And that's what makes Poornatva a very individual experience while being a group cohort. You will be able to see if you feel fear, which part do you feel it? So the next time you're feeling that emotion, you'll be able to identify that emotion because your awareness will immediately go to that body part. Now, we come to the 7th module, my beliefs landscape. Now, beliefs are rehearsed thoughts. Any thought that you keep thinking on a recurrent basis gets fed deep into your unconscious and starts ruling your life. There are 2 kinds of beliefs. Limiting beliefs, that which shrink you. Expansive beliefs, that which expand you or uplift you. All these beliefs data are again in your biography, something that you have already written in the past. So all you have to do is relate to the biography and look at what are my recurrent belief patterns, limiting or expansive. Now, if it is an expansive belief, you just have to keep repeating it, but this time consciously. If it is a limiting pattern, it needs work. It's like a dog's tail, which has been twisted and very difficult to straighten. You have to put some effort, which we will focus on in the next module. I want to also bring this connection between thoughts or beliefs and emotions. If you are feeling a limiting thought or a limiting belief, you will feel a fear-based emotion, and that you will find it in some part of your body. And that part of the body, because you have been holding on that thought or belief for a long time, would have weakened. So this is a great time for you to really look at your body, your physiology, your emotions, your thoughts, and therefore your programmed behavior. And just by looking at this chain, you will be able to bring consciousness and shift your behavior. Powerful, isn't it? wait for the next one. The 8th module is dancing with expansive beliefs. You have discovered that these are my limiting beliefs. And you know they are fear-based and they shrink your body and your thought process. So why do you need them? You can just shift them to expansive beliefs. But it is easier said than done because they have been living in your internal system for years. But the good news is that there is a way, a method to shift it. And that is what Dancing with Expansive Beliefs module will focus on. You will be able to shift your limiting beliefs to expansive beliefs through a step-by-step process and anchor that in your body, experience a shift in emotions, and automatically your behaviors will change. When behaviors change, life changes. I am not saying that you are going to shift and remain in that shift. You may come back to limiting, but there's a high chance that your awareness will take you back to the expansive beliefs. That's the focus for this module. Now we come to the 9th module, attuning to your body. Actually, this module has begun right from the time we entered your biography. But here we focus on how can you tune with your body every minute. You live in your body. Your body helps you in doing every action. But yet, there is an unconscious non-attention to your body. When your body falls ill is when you pay attention to it. But you can tune yourself to pay attention to it. And that's the process we will focus on in this. Plus, you will be able to integrate your thought patterns, your emotions patterns, and your beliefs patterns while you focus on different aspects of the body. Most participants find this eye-opening because seldom have they paid attention to their body. And this is the time you really deepen your intimacy with your body. Well, good for you. Now, we come to the 10th module, balanced decision making. Whoever you are, in whichever walk of your life, you are born to make decisions because you are born with that awareness, with that consciousness to decipher what is right and wrong for you at this particular moment. Now, some of you may have a tendency to take decisions from the head, some others from the heart. In this module, we'll invite you to reflect what is your pattern of decision making. What is its connection to your energy signature? And is there a possibility to shift from just one way to utilizing all the 3 ways to decide or take decisions: the head, the heart, and intuition? It has been an eye-opener for people to know that the most rewarding decisions have been those which have been taken from intuition, just that they were not aware of it. You will become aware of your own style. And now we come to the 11th module, celebrating the leader in you. This is the time to share what shifted for you. All other participants are going to listen to the shift that you underwent from the day you set your intention, sowed the seed, to this state when you graduate from the course. It has been a magical experience for me to witness this caterpillar transform into a butterfly. Butterfly with the colors and in ways that you wanted. Not by force, not because of peer pressure, but by your choice. That is Poornatva for you. And it's heartening to listen to each one's graduation conversation. Something very fulfilling that I live for. There is one more special aspect to the Poornatva journey, which is the 21-day presence practice. Every single day for a period of 21 days, we will log in for 15 minutes and practice one short presence practice together. Now, we believe that habits put all aspects of your energy together in alignment. And what we are trying to instill is a practice of sitting with yourself for 15 minutes and practicing something where you're sitting in silence, you're reflecting on yourself and engaged in a presence practice. These 21 days, I lead it and you are in the process with me. But I've seen participants continue these 21 days over and over and over again. That brings the shift in the being. And this shift in the being leads to shift in the doing and the outcomes. And that is why I say Poornatva. In Poornatva, you lead with outcomes, but lead from your inner energy, from presence, from silence, from consciousness. That's why it's such a sacred course. This process of Poornatva has come through me. I have birthed it. I've created it for each one of you to experience the richness and the fullness. I invite you to be a part of this container and experience it for yourself and fill yourself with joy, presence, and wholeness.